of Qigong. I'm very happy you decided to jump in and enjoy this experience with Qigong. Qigong is an amazing practice and it's an amazing technique. It's really not that well known as other disciplines like yoga, for example, but it is no less precious and worth your time, literally. For those of you that don't know where Qigong is coming from, it is associated to the traditional Chinese tradition. It's a very, very ancient technique that was initially practiced by those called shamans, and it dates back to the Neolithic time. So Qigong is as old as yoga is. During the communism, Qigong was classified as a part of the magic rituals, magic practices, so it was banned. Nobody could practice or teach Qigong in the communist China until one day a doctor started to study secretly Qigong techniques, breathing techniques, movements techniques, and he started to study ancient books where they were written about Qigong and his practices and beneficials, and he started to discover everything about meridians, and he started to basically research the medical benefit of Qigong on each individual. By doing this research, he was able to bring back Qigong and allow Qigong to be introduced within the medical practice, and so it wasn't banned anymore. And so we have medical Qigong, which is even today practiced as a part of the procedure in medicine, not just in traditional Chinese medicine, but in medicine altogether. There are three schools of Qigong. One is spiritual Qigong, the other one is martial art Qigong, and the other one, of course, is medical Qigong. Often we know about medical Qigong a lot, but the Shaolin monks, for example, they have a practice that is martial art Qigong, and is one of the schools that I follow. And then there's the spiritual Qigong, and which is the other school that I follow the most. Of course, I follow also the medical Qigong, but I am not a traditional Chinese medicine doctor, so I read a lot about medical Qigong and I ask for advice to those that are qualified for the traditional Chinese medicine. So I do not prescribe anything, but I study everything that there is to study. What we are going to do during these 3 classes will be mostly spiritual Qigong, some martial Qigong, and a little bit of medical Qigong. That's because when we talk about Qigong, we cannot actually separate these 3 schools, which means that even if you practice martial Qigong, you will have a little bit of spiritual Qigong and a little bit of medical Qigong. If you practice medical Qigong, you will have a little bit of martial and a little bit of spiritual. And the same goes for the spiritual Qigong, you will have a little bit of martial and a little bit of medical Qigong. I hope this is clear. The spiritual Qigong that I follow is the tradition that you will find more in the Thailand area, China's Taiwan. So it's softer and it is way more feminine in its approach. The other practice that I do mainly, but we are not going to embrace it during these 3 classes, is the martial art, and I have my teacher is a Shaolin monk, and that one is a little bit more masculine, more focused on your muscle strength and flexibility, connectivity of your tendons and ligaments. So we're not going to do that specific part during these 3 classes because it requires a little bit more training. And of course, the medical Qigong, I will give you some information on what's going to happen during the exercises, but please do not take those as prescription or medical advice. Please, if you feel that you need medical advice, please refer to the qualified personnel. Okay? That being said, let's get started with our class, the first one. As you know, we're going to focus on detoxing the turbid Qi that we all accumulate into our system. Turbid Qi is everything that you can possibly imagine. Stuck emotion, frustration during the day, negative thoughts, trauma, pain, physical pain, anything that puts you in a state of unhappiness, basically. Because the Qigong focuses on recreate harmony and balance. I will tell you more about this before we start the actual class. I want to jump right into explaining you the single exercises that we are going to perform during our first Qigong routine. And this part is very important because then when you understand the movements, you will be enjoying even more the routine, the practice. Because I want you to focus, during the practice, I want you to focus on feeling the Qi, feeling your body, be present with your mind, with your body, with your spirit. Qigong takes into consideration everything that creates a human being. So you are a mind, you are a body, you are a heart, you are a spirit, you are energy. So during the practice, I want you to focus on your wholeness rather than think how to practice the exercises. Okay, so take the time to watch this section of the class. Good, so let's go and check all the exercises. First of all, I always start my practice with a bow. Bow to anything that you want. If you have a divinity that you like, or if you have a religious beliefs, please do your bow to whatever you believe in. I like to bow to my higher self. I like to ask for guidance to my higher self, and I bow to thank myself for getting up and doing the practice. I'm very kind with myself, and the bow is a way to remind myself that I want to be kind to myself. Okay, so I start with my bow. You will see I join my hands and I simply bow. There is a movement that you will see repeating throughout the entire class, and I call it the equalizer. The equalizer is a movement that connects fire and water together. The element of fire and the element of water together are kind of those that creates instability, or sometimes they creates, anger, frustration, disharmony in certain passions and emotions. Not that you don't have to feel passionate, actually you have to, but when it's too much, you might get too much fire, you will become angrier and more unstable, more reactive. If you have too much water, you will become too emotional, meaning that you will not be able to look at your emotion and let them flow, and this will create this emotional imbalance. So there is going to be, after the salutation and between exercises, these movements that I call the equalizer that I'm about to show you. The equalizer is basically a movement of your hands up and down. At the beginning, after we finish our bow, and the bow is performed with your feet and legs fully together. You're here, you have finished to bow, you open your hands, palms down, you lift a little bit also your elbows if you want, and you start to push the energy down, okay? And see my knees are bending, and then here you open your feet, you collect the Qi, and you bring the Qi up. Inhale, and I'm stretching my knees, and then exhale, down. These equalize your fire and water. We're going to repeat these exercises like 6 or 7 times before we start the sequence and between some of the exercises, okay? And especially during the release of Turbid Qi, I'm going to practice it to really calm down the energy, because sometimes when we are releasing Qi, the heat comes up and the heartbeat goes up, so we need to calm it down, and then we can go to the next exercises. Equalizing your energy is absolutely essential, especially if you are doing and practicing Qigong as a form of energy healing, self-healing for yourself. Remember one very important thing during the detoxing exercises, the purging exercises. You inhale through the nose and you exhale through the mouth, okay? So even during the equalizer, if you feel you need to start purging yourself, you can exhale through the mouth, okay? This movement is basically the key, and you will find it in every single class that we are going to do. The next exercise that we are going to do during this class, it's called Drawing Heaven Down to Earth. And it's a very simple exercise that I use to literally scan my body and shower myself with heavenly Qi. Okay, I'm going to talk more about heavenly Qi and earthly Qi during the classes, but for now, just, we can gather Qi from heaven. Heaven is space, is, the galaxies and the planets and the stars, okay, is the sky. So when we draw heaven down, we are literally gathering Qi from space and all the elements of space, and we're using those very high frequency to scan and purge and clean up our body, and I imagine like a golden Qi washing through every single element of my body, organs, skeletons, tendons, muscles, everything, okay? And I wash it, all the dark energy, the turbid Qi, down into the earth. We're going to use the earth for this exercise as a recycle bin. And don't worry about that, because the earth is more than happy to recycle that energy and use it to replenish the entire ecosystem, okay? So you are not damaging planet Earth, okay? The drawing the heaven down to earth is very simple. We have finished to do this one, and we go out, palms down, then turn and up. Now flip your palms down and you wash, okay? And you continue, it's a cycle, up, flip your hands and down, okay? Of course, needless to say that your feet are always parallel and open like your hips. Unless I specify, we never open our legs more than our hips, okay? Always here. Unless you feel a little bit unstable, in that case I do suggest you and advise you to open your legs a little bit more than your hips. I keep my feet parallel, I feel more stable, but if you feel more stable with your feet turned slightly out, please do so, okay? And of course, knees are always soft and bent, hips are tucked in and down. And we'll repeat this 1,000 times during the practice. The next exercise is a dynamic purging exercise. It's one of the most effective purging exercise. It's dynamic, so it gets your heart rate up. So it's a very aerobic also movement. In this case, your legs are a little bit more open, a little bit more than your hips. It's called throwing the ball. So imagine to have actually you don't need to imagine to have already the ball in your hands, but basically your arms start from here, bend your knees, bring your arms down, and as you stretch slightly your legs, you throw one ball of Turbid Qi away. The other arm is behind. There is a torsion of your torso. During this movement, you return to the center, up, and to the other side, because you have to throw the ball in both directions. Okay? Keep your navel in and keep your torso straight. Just remember to have your hips tucked in, and you oscillate. Inhale to the center, exhale when you throw the ball. See that there is this bounce with my knees. It's very important so you don't harm your knees or your lower back. The way how you purge during this exercise is basically imagining to throw a ball of Turbid Qi away through your arms and through your hands, like shooting this ball into the universe. Again, the universe is taking care of that, recycle it and make it back into a beautiful energy ball. Those are principles of the Tao in Qigong, so it's explained magnificently in the medical Qigong books. So we throw another ball to the other side. But we can also release a Turbid Qi through our legs. This is the reason why we are bending and stretching, because when we drop down, we can imagine like two balls of Turbid Qi going down through the legs and going into Mother Earth. Okay? So we have 4 directions. Basically, we can throw Turbid Qi. 1, 2, and then when you do this, you throw it through your legs as well, especially when you go down with your knees. In Qigong, your imagination, your power visualization is super important. However, if you are one of those that is not able to visualize, it's totally fine. Just tell your energy what to do. Meaning, please Turbid Qi leave through my hands and leave through my legs, and the energy responds to your command. So keep that focus in your mind. The next exercise we're going to do in the class is hitting. We're going to go through 2 parts hitting movements during this class. First, we're going to focus on the upper body, and we're going to go first in this way with your hands like in this position, and you have to hit right beneath your chest where there is the rib cage, the crest of the rib cage, and you have to hit in the way that your liver and your spleen are going to feel it. Okay? After this, of course, you can imagine, very important during the hitting, inhale, nose, exhale, mouth. Please do it, because the liver and the spleen will be shooting stuff out, so you need to release it. And this is also the reason why I ask you also to drink before a Qigong class, because it helps the detoxing process. Okay, I will ask you also to drink after class, but for now, please, during the practice, use your breath to tell your body to release the toxins. Okay, then we go in the thymus, and of course we are stimulating the immune system, and then we go into the lungs point meridians. This is very important because it tells your lungs to wake up and brings more oxygen in, And then we go to hit our arms up and down. Please do not hit your wrist, not in the front, not in the back. Just skip it, boom. Because this is a vital point. It actually, if you hit it, it can weaken you. So don't do it. Okay, don't just skip it. You go pop, 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 and jump, and you go on your palms. The palms are important because your palms actually is where your energy is living. And so it's good to have it always very clean. And then we go to the other side and we do the same thing. Then your cheek, which stimulates the stomach meridian. So if you have digestive issues, that's a very good point to hit and massage. Okay, we're gonna hit it. And to help the brain, function, we're gonna hit here, your forehead. I like to hit up and down through the center, and then around my hairline and around my eyebrows. And I go così, like this. Sorry, a little bit of Italian in between, like this. This really helps to wake up your brain. And then we are going to brush it. This literally clears any cluttering thoughts you may have, okay? So you brush your head and you have to go all the way down, and then you flick your hands. Flicking your hands is super important because this energy here is very sticky. So clear and flick, clear and flick. Okay, please, if you have water next to you or if you have animals next to you, please don't flick over them, flick away from them, okay? And away from the water as well. Because then we go into shaking. Shaking is the master purging exercise, okay? Shaking should be done in a way that your entire body shakes. This is not shaking. I know that for some people might be just enough, and if you have muscle issues or any other physical issues, if this is the best you can do, perfect. But if you can move your body a little bit more, please shake it as much as you can. You have to feel your joints shaking, your wrist, your elbows, your shoulders, your head, your knees, your ankles, and even you can shake and your feet. Please shake. Shaking is important. It resets your brain waves. It resets your way of thinking. It resets your endocrinal system. It resets your emotions. It resets your nervous system. It resets basically everything. Please shake 2 minutes every day. I shake in the morning and sometimes before I go to sleep. Shake the body. It's literally like dropping anything that doesn't serve you anymore away and down into the earth. You need to get rid of that stuff. With shaking, basically you get rid of stuff that you don't even know it's there. Besides, it really breaks the calcified particles of energy that can provoke like joint pains. So please shake because it's super, super healthy. Of course, inhale nose, exhale mouth while you are shaking. And after shaking, we're gonna do the last purging exercise, and we're gonna hit our legs. I put the legs as last because they have very tough energy. The legs have bigger muscles. They hold so much energy. You have, dropped so much energy has passed through the body, through your legs. So to avoid to hold on some energy, because there is so much here, we get to hit our legs. And we start with the upper hips. And then we go down through the outside. This is an amazing massage for each meridian that passes through the legs. You go all the way down, and then you hit the top of your feet, and you come back up through the inside, okay? And you stop for a moment at the top of your thighs, and you start again. You go down, over your feet and up through the inside. As I said before, first it will help to balance the minerals in your muscles, especially magnesium and calcium, but it really helps to open up the meridians. So if there is any stuck qi that has gotten stuck because of the previous exercises, with this heating you can definitely drop the last turbid qi that needs to free your body. You can then shake a little bit, and then we're gonna do the equalizer exercise. After these purging exercises, we're gonna do 2 tonifying exercises to get some qi in, since we have created the space for new qi to come in. And then we're gonna do 2, it's actually one exercise, but it's divided in 2 parts, to circulate the qi. The qi must be circulated. It cannot get there and sit. Okay, the only place where we store qi is the lower dantian, because this is your powerhouse. The lower dantian is located basically below your navel. And another part is your kidneys, because your kidneys are your life savior. So if you need extra qi and you are in a situation of danger, that qi will be released by your kidneys and you will be able to act. It's basically what our adrenal glands do. So the first tonifying exercise is very simple. We have done the equalizer, okay? And then we place our hands here, right on our lower dantian. See that I put one hand on top of the other, and then I place my thumbs together. Lower your knees, tuck your hips down and forward, relax your chest, so don't curve your chest, lift your chest up, but don't overarch it, just relax it, relax your shoulders. Here I want you to inhale and imagine the qi that comes from the universe and from the earth come in when you inhale, and when you exhale, I want you to compact this qi into your lower dantian. Meaning that while you inhale, you feel the qi, you visualize the qi flowing through you and into you. When you exhale, you imagine it recompacting and becoming brighter in your lower dantian. Okay? Probably during the class I will give you more information, but this is what we're going to do. That's called tonifying. It's a way to gather qi from the universe, from heaven, and from earth. Earthly qi, you can get qi from stones, rocks, trees, bushes, flowers, and even if you don't have trees next to you, you can imagine that you are getting the qi from wherever the tree is, from wherever the bush is, or from wherever the flowers are, and the rocks and the river and the lake. Okay, that's all earthly qi. Animals are earthly qi. Okay, so you inhale, you feel this qi flowing from heaven and from earth, and when you exhale, you recompact the qi. This is the first part. The second part, the second tonifying exercise, we're going to focus on the earthly qi, and you're going to place your hands in front of you with your palms facing down, direct toward the earth. Okay, and we do the same thing that we have done before, but we focus on earthly qi, and we call in the earth through our hands, and you literally imagine the qi coming in through your arms, going through the middle dantian, which is in this area, and then direct that qi down into your lower dantian. When you exhale, you recompact the qi into your lower dantian. Okay, inhale, flow the qi in and down. Exhale as you recompact the qi in your lower dantian. Very important, because you are replenish the qi that you were missing because you got rid of a big bunch of the qi that you were holding on. To circulate the qi, we're gonna do the rainbow wheel. Okay, it's very simple. From here, we start to bring our hands toward us, up at the level of the chest, we move forward. So from here, in, up, out. And we're gonna do it in both directions, in, up, and out. And from here, out, up, in, and down. Okay, both directions. While we move our hands in this wheel, we imagine that we are creating a beautiful wheel, a rainbow wheel, okay? A wheel made of the color of the rainbow. This will really harmonize your aura, and it will tell your qi to circulate like a wheel, okay? Like a beautiful energy wheel within your own system. Even though you are doing this movement, this wheel will expand all around you. It's basically making a beautiful sphere with all the colors of the rainbow. It's very balancing, is clearing, is energizing. To conclude the class, we're gonna do an exercise that is called centering, and you're gonna find it in all 3 classes. It's important because after you have done all this work, you need something to recenter yourself and come back to your presence more. You will see that when we are going to do this more circulating exercises, you will be a little bit more high. Just because when you do the circulating exercise, you get more into meditation, okay, into a meditative state. So you will need more recentering. For this class, we're going to do one centering exercise here with your palms facing up. Your knees soft, tuck your hips down, chest up, and we go out with our right arm, center, palms in, and we draw a line through the middle line, slowly, here, and then we go with the left, and down. And we're going to repeat this a few times. This literally harmonizes your magnetic field, and it aligns the central channel to the center, okay? It is really magnetizing, so it's essential that we do it. At the end of everything, we do what we call bamboo in the wind. So we bring our feet back together, hands here, you close your eyes and you let your body move as it wants. Do not command it, you will see it will happen automatically. That is to allow the qi to flow where it's needed in the body, okay? As I said, it's important that the qi flows and moves and goes where it's needed. We cannot hold the qi in one place. Please do not hold your qi in your middle dantian and in your higher dantian, which is here, because you're going to have issues. I'm going to talk about this in one of the classes as well. And then after this, we're going to do the closing. Same thing as at the beginning. It's a beautiful thank you, okay, to yourself, to the divine, to whoever you believe in. So this one is our first sequence. If you need, please re-watch this video all over again, this part of the video all over again before you jump into the practice, just to make sure that you understood the movements very well. Just remember that as a first class, I will repeat some technique during the practice as well. So expect me to talk a little bit more during the class. I will try to be more silent during the second and the third class. But if this is your first time practicing Qigong, please watch this part as many times as you want, or you can jump right into the practice and see how it goes, and eventually you can return to these breakdown exercises explanation to get even more comfortable. So take a moment, drink a sip of water. I will explain a little bit more in the next part of the video, and then we'll start with the practice. Take your time, but please during the practice make sure your space is quiet and you don't have any disturbances. So just turn your phone off and just for 30 minutes take time for yourself. This is very important. So let me explain you a little bit more about the detoxing class before the practice. Here we are with our first class. This class will be totally focused on releasing turbid qi. However, since I respect a normal structure of Qigong class, it will also include a part of tonification and circulation of the qi. This is because if we focus only on releasing turbid qi, we are going to focus on leaving, so dropping some qi away. That qi will leave a space within yourself that needs to be replenished. Otherwise, you will be feeling way too tired or fatigued and even more frustrated. So that space that you will create because you have released all the qi, unwanted qi, or a qi that doesn't serve you any longer, needs to be re-nurtured back into your system to be used. Of course, the next class will be more focused on tonifying because today we work on turbid qi, so there is way more space to bring more qi in. We're gonna do a little bit of release of turbid qi because when there is too much qi is not good either. And the last class will be, of course, more focused on circulating the qi, and it's very important because if qi gets stuck, it doesn't really work for your benefit. I also have noticed that when the qi circulates properly around your system, you get a little bit more prosperous and healthier. Let's start with our practice. By now the exercise should be more clear, but I will remind you a few technicalities while we practice. That will be easier for you to remember because I have explained the exercise in the first part of this video. So if you haven't watched the first part of the video, please go back because it's essential to have a better experience during the practice. Let's start. Put your feet together, legs together, feet together. And as you can see, I'm wearing socks. I like to have like a sort of isolation from the floor, even because my floor is in tiles and it's cold. And you don't want to feel uncomfortable when you practice. So if you have tiles on the floor, maybe you want to wear socks as well. And even if you have carpets or wooden floor, it's okay to wear socks as well. So it's fine. Feet together, legs together, thighs together, everything is together, navel is in, your chest is lifted, your hips are slightly tucked down and forward, your arms are on the side, and to start we make a salutation to your higher self, to the environment around you, to your own heart, anywhere and anything you want to send this salutation and refer during this salutation, then you can definitely do it. Okay, inhale, bring your arms up, palms together over your head, exhale, bring your hands down, and bow to your higher self, to your heart, to yourself, to the environment, or to nature, or even to the divine if that's your choice, for this opportunity to practice. Be guided and protected during this practice. Thank you. And open your hands. Exhale, push down your hands. Collect Qi, open your feet apart, no more than your hips. Inhale, equalizer as a size to your heart. Exhale down. Bend your knees, navel is in. Collect Qi from the earth up. And exhale. These equalize your energy. It balances you. It magnetizes your magnetic field. Inhale. Exhale. Keep going 2 more times. You can feel your magnetic field already active. And let's start from washing your Qi. Bring your hands to the side, turn your palms out, lift. This is a drawing heaven down to earth. Flip your palms down and through the middle line, you press heaven down. You use the Qi from heaven to wash out turbid Qi through your body into the Mother Earth through your legs. Inhale, up, and wash out Qi. You can see all this dark turbid energy leaving your body. You're pressing this energy down, and it leaves through your legs, through your feet into Mother Earth. And keep going. Inhale. Exhale. Use heaven energy to wash out turbid Qi from wherever corners of your system, or your physical system. One more. Use your mouth to exhale while we do the detoxing movement. Now you can open your legs a little bit more. Open your arms here and bend your knees and swing your hands to the side as you turn your torso. Inhale here, exhale. Throw turbid Qi through your hands like balls of black energy, leaving your hands, and also through your legs. Inhale nose, exhale mouth. And you can increase the speed. And slowly back to the center. Relax and equalize. Inhale. Feel how the energy changes between the exercises. Exhale down. Remember that you can move your knees up as you move your hands up. And exhale, you bend your knees as you move your hands down. And back to the center, and start hitting with your hands under your rib cage, right where there is the crease of your rib cage here. So you are massaging your liver and your spleen. Keep your knees bent, your spine aligned, and inhale nose, exhale mouth. Now hit on the thymus. And I start to hit the beginning point under your shoulders, on your right side or left side, it doesn't matter. Keep breathing in the same way. Inhale, nose, exhale, mouth. And then start to hit your arm, the inside of your arm, going down. Palm, back of your hands, up. And keep going. You go down. Please don't hit in this area of your wrist. Just go, skip that point. Same on the back. Center, the other side. These activate your lungs, your regions. And down. Skip the wrist. Don't skip the palm or the back of your hands, but skip the back of your wrist. Center, Qi. This is good for your stomach and forehead. This is very good for your brain. And now open your fingers and brush and flush the energy out. Brush your skull and flick your hands. And start shaking. Shake with everything that you have available. You have to feel your joints shaking. You can even jump or jumping on one foot at a time, but move and shake. Move your hips and shake. Relax your head, your shoulders. Feel every joint shaking. Inhale nose, exhale mouth. This reset, this shaking is so essential because it resets your nervous system to zero, your brain patterns to zero. You can really recreate your brain waves, your thoughts after doing this movement. So shake with the intention to drop anything that doesn't serve you anymore, including negative thoughts, negative emotions. Drop that turbid Qi into Mother Earth. Mother Earth knows how to recycle that energy and transform it into something else. And back to the center, slowly. Inhale, equalize the energy. Inhale, feel how tingling is you feel your skin and your muscles. Exhale. And relax for a moment into neutral position. And let's hit our legs to make sure that everything that we are purging is not getting stuck in our legs. So start hitting the outside of your legs, the outside of your hips. And then go to the upper part of your thighs. You will feel a little bit more pain here. It's fine, nothing dangerous. Inhale nose, exhale mouth. Remember that you are purging, so you see this turbid qi leaving through your exhale and through every single pores on your skin. And then go all the way down through the outside, outside, then over your feet, and then inhale back to up through the inside, on top of your legs, and then all the way down. Again, exhale down over your feet, inhale up. Center, bounce, drop. Drop, fist, drop, fist. And remain here. Breathe long and deep. And equalize. Inhale. to your lower dantian, so the lower part of your abdomen. Put your feet closer, knees bent, and breathe long and deep. Place your palms facing the earth. Inhale and call in the earthly qi, renewed, nurturing, supporting. And let this qi enters your hands, arms, into your heart and down into your lower dantian. Inhale. And when you exhale, you feel and you imagine this qi consolidating and recompacting, brighter and vital in your lower dantian. Inhale, you take the qi in, all the way down. When you exhale, you compact this life force into your lower dantian. Remember to keep your knees bent and your hips tucked in and forward. Breathe through your nose. And let's circulate. Inhale, bring the qi in, up, forward, like in a wheel, and down again. Inhale, up, forward and down, exhale. And as you do this, you imagine to create a wheel of the color of the rainbow. Filling up your aura with these beautiful rainbows colors. And reverse. Forward and up. back with your hands into your lower dantian. See how the tonifying and circulating exercises are very calming. And breathe long and deep, consolidate the qi in your lower dantian. Put your feet together and allow the body to oscillate in whatever direction it wants. That's your qi finding ways through where it's needed. Center. Place your hands here, the level of your lower dantian. Palms facing up, right arms first, out, up, and down through the middle line. Center yourself before we close the class. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, open your arms. Palms together. Exhale. And thank you so much for this practice. Thank you so much. You can practice this class for as many times as you want, and even if you don't feel ready to go and practice the following class on the tonification, it's totally fine. You can practice this class for 2 or 3 days before you go into the tonification class, if you think that you have more stuff to drop and release. So feel free to feel your body and your needs. And if you have any doubts at all, just reach out to me. You will find my contact information at the end of this video and on the email I have sent you. So please, please, please reach out if you have any concerns or you have questions or you haven't understood something well and you want me to re-explain it. Please reach out and I can make like a short video for you to explain you to answer your question, basically, to explain you better what you haven't understood, or if you really have any concern about the practice of this specific class, reach out, feel free to do so. Drink a sip of water, don't run into your cars or outside chatting with people. Take a moment for yourself, because it doesn't look like, but you drop quite a bit doing these very simple exercises. So honor yourself, honor your body, your feelings, and your emotions as well. Again, I'm here if you need any help, and I wish you a beautiful rest of your day or evening, and see you in the next video. Bye!